We're live. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, y'all know the drill. I'm going on social medias to do the things, and then we'll get started. People always, they get on after this because it goes live about 15 seconds after I post it live, which means that 15 minutes of dead space at the beginning, nobody sees when they're originally watching it. But if any, what the heck?
What?
Decided to post it in Chinese this time.
What the heck? Yeah, good luck with people reading that.
I'm going to quote the tweet. I'm going to post it on mine. Come join us for a delightful podcast. Sit straight.
Oh.
Come join us for a delightful podcast. I promise it is not in capitals in Chinese. Twitter, YouTube.
The only thing I know
It's
in
weird.
Chinese is ni hao. I don't even know what that means.
Okay, I shared it on Twitter. Now I'm going to make sure it's shared it on Facebook. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. This is the most fun part of the whole podcast, you guys. The audio people don't actually get to hear this part. So it's only the video people that actually get to hear this part. It's so much fun. It's riveting stuff going on here.
Wait, they can't hear what we're saying?
I'm not recording the audio yet.
Oh.
But the video can, and people can go on YouTube and watch the video any old time they want.
So the people who are getting on now can hear us fine.
Why is it not showing up on my YouTube yet? I was waiting for the thing to pop up, but it is still taking a minute.
Going bald.
Okay. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, we are live. Ooh, 2 people are watching. Hello, the 2 people watching. Oh, stop. Pause.
Who is that?
I don't know why it's in Chinese, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to get on Facebook really quick. It's not posting on my Facebook for some reason, so I'm just making sure that that goes up. And then we will be good and ready to go. Post. A new episode of the podcast is live. Come check it out. Smiley face. All right. I'm gonna start recording the audio and then we are good to go. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Woo! It is episode 9. Wow, we are long ways into the year, y'all. And happy Leap Day! Woohoo! It is, I was gonna say December, but that's wrong. It is February 29th. Happy Leap Year! Is anybody else excited for Leap Day? I'm excited for Leap Day. If you didn't notice, the title of this video is called Focus. So ready, everybody, go with me. Focus on me. Focus on me. I don't have the rights to it. I won't sing no more. with my sister. I'm sorry, I'm posting on Facebook because it's not working. Belle. There, I tagged you. Now people should be able to see it.
In Chinese. Okay.
No, I tagged you in that one, not the Chinese one. I don't know why it's in Chinese.
Ni hao. Ciao, y'all.
Shh. Don't be racist.
Oh. Ciao.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I'm super excited. Okay, so guys, if you are watching the video, then you've noticed for a couple minutes now. And if you're listening to the audio, then hopefully you've heard a couple things. But this is the first female co-host I've had on my podcast. And who better than to start off that right than my own sister. Guys, this is Belle. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Everybody show her your love. I really do appreciate it a lot. And this is how things are going to go. Belle, I'm going to ask you a couple of very, very important questions. We'll talk a little bit about some things, and then we'll talk about some more things. We'll delve into the topic and talk about lots of things. And then we will be able to just have a wonderful time and end by talking about the last bit of things. I ask one final question, and then the podcast is over.
I don't know any of the things she's talking
That's
about.
okay. That's what I meant to do.
You won't tell me.
She's watched a lot of my podcasts, but she's only watched like the middle to the end parts. So now she gets to be a part of the whole thing. So fun. Okay, so here are the questions that I ask every single one of my co-hosts. You notice you are not in frame. Okay, this is why I scooted your chair. Okay, there we go. Go girl. Okay, I gotta work the camera kinks out, y'all. Okay, here we go. What is your favorite quote? This is the fire round. You're supposed to be fast. First one that comes to your mind.
I don't know. I am the champion. No, I am the tiger. Yeah, it's not really a quote. It's a song, but I like it.
Okay, I'm not talking about a song.
I don't know.
What is your favorite quote?
Can I come back to that one?
No.
No idea. Like,
you are on the World Wide Web where anybody can watch this at any point, and you don't have a single quote that you can share with the people of the internet.
I can't think.
What is something that you tell yourself every day? What is a motivational thing that you say to yourself, whether you heard it or whether you made it up? What is something that you say to yourself every day to help you focus and get ready for the day?
Okay, well, this is one that I heard. Okay, I don't know who it's by, but it's like, our deepest fear is that we're not inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful.
That is actually C.S. Lewis. That is who that quote is by. That's actually a really, really good quote. I love that one. All right, the next one is actually, what is your current favorite song?
Ooh, Uptown Funk.
That's a good song. Definitely a good song. Okay, Belle. Now I'm your sister, which means I know a lot about you. But this is going to be hard. This is going to be really hard. But you have to surprise me. What is a unique fact about yourself?
Oh, I wake up at 4 every morning.
I know that.
And I don't know. What do you not know about me?
What is a unique fact? What is something that makes you a unique individual? You're a very unique individual. Why don't you share something?
Well, you already know everything.
Well, that's fine. They know.
Okay. I like theater. I like acting. And I like to be something I'm not. And, well, not be something I'm not, but like,
we're gonna move past that question.
I love acting and
okay, all right, we're done with that question. Okay, this is for the video audience. Get really close to the camera. You're gonna get about this close. So bring your face all the way over here. This close. Ready? Now I'm going to tell you to do something, and you look at the camera, not the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so on the count of when I say this, you do it. Okay, ready?
No.
Make a funny face. Oh, that was great. Beautiful. Okay, this is for the audio listeners. This is for the audio listeners. What's your favorite animal noise? You have to make elephant. Make this.
That should be something unique about myself. I can make an elephant noise.
Woo!
I'm sorry trying to get the tiger down, but
Oh man. Oh man.
okay,
Okay.
there's something unique about myself.
All right, we're moving past that one now.
I can be
Okay,
animals.
what's your favorite cheese?
String cheese.
So mozzarella cheese.
Whatever cheese that is.
Okay. What's your favorite cereal?
Ooh. What's the fruit something? Fruit. You know, like they're like Cheerios, but they're different colors.
Fruit Loops?
Yeah, that. I can't remember my favorite cereal. Fruit Loops.
Okay. This podcast is getting off to a wonderful start. Oh man. Okay. Belle, let's see if you can answer this final question.
Oh, no.
So this question it's kind of a two-part question, okay? So the first part of the question is, do you have a current favorite book or book that you're reading right now that means a lot to you?
Yeah. Wait, you want me to answer it? Yeah, I do have a favorite book. No answer. It's Ties That Bind.
It's what?
Ties That Bind. I don't know who they are.
Ties of Mind?
No, Ties That Bind.
Ties That Bind.
I talk really fast. But it's about the feet binding in China. And it talks about a girl who was able to kind of make her own path and go beyond what people wanted her to do.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Okay, how has this particular story impacted you and how you live a more healthy life?
For me, our life is all about what we make it. With this, like, she was giving up everything. Her dad, her uncle, like, everyone was against her, but she still was able to see her future in a different way and was able to make her life bright and make it what she wanted.
Cool.
So no one can let you down.
All right, so here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about what the topic of the podcast is, and then I will ask you another question. Okay. So just a little bit of a introduction to the podcast. I know you've watched a lot of them, but at the same time, I want you to kind of understand what I'm doing with the podcast. I am trying really hard to express what I'm doing in my life and how I'm choosing to focus on having a more healthy lifestyle. And I feel that there are a lot of different aspects of your life that make up a healthy lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about exercise, we've talked about food, we've talked about being a little bit more intellectual and learning words to help your vocabulary grow. We've talked about a lot of different things on these podcasts, and we will continue to talk about things. This week I chose I chose to talk about the topic of focus, because I feel like in order to really be able to change change the negative things that you have in your life and really be able to pay attention to what is most important in your life and to be able to improve, you really have to focus on the things that you want to change, and you have to kind of make those changes based on the focusing that you're doing. I don't know if I'm making much sense, but the idea behind this particular episode is ways in which to help you focus, whether it's on eating healthier or whether it's on exercising more or doing better at your school studies or whatever. Like, I want to talk about ways in which you are able to focus, things that might distract you and stop you from focusing, and then things that we can do. I've been thinking a lot about this. I've been working on things myself. This is something, last night I was thinking about this a lot, and just trying to figure out what I was going to do to change the way that I focus, so that I focus better. And so I wanted to talk to you about that. So now that I've kind of talked about the topic, I'm going to ask you, this particular book that you mentioned, Ties That Bind, how has that impacted your ability to focus in your life?
Well, for me, she wasn't able to get an education. She wasn't supposed to. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. You really got to manage your time and focus on what your goals in life are. You can't just say you want to do something. You have to work at it. What is it that makes it a habit? 31 days.
30 days.
30 days. That makes it a habit. I mean, you don't become best or good at something until you work at it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Something that I've learned over the years, and I mean, I'm still young. I am not even quite 24 in just a couple weeks. But I've still been able to learn things in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast. I call it Liv's Library because I feel like you're able to learn things in a library, whether it's through books or through study groups with other people, whatever it is. When you're in a library, that's a good, safe place to be able to learn. And so that's why I call this Liv's Library, because I want everyone who is here to feel safe and able to learn and to grow and to feel welcome and safe. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk a little bit about some things that I've been doing to kind of work on focusing myself. And then I want to hear some things that you've been doing as well. Okay. So first of all, I have a really, really hard time focusing on everything, on everything that I do. I have what I like to call, and I've seen it on Facebook, and this is why I call it, it's ADCD, attention deficit cleaning disorder. So it's not ADD, it's ADCD, and it's where when I start to clean, I start doing one thing, and then I see something else that I have to do, and so I move on to do that next thing, mm-hmm. and then I see something else, and then I move on to do that thing, and all of a sudden I've got half-finished piles everywhere. And then my room is a disaster because I have all the little piles, and then I feel so overwhelmed. I walk into my room or I walk into whatever space it is that I'm trying to clean or organize, and I just feel so overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much. There's really not. I mean, if you look at all the little piles, I have clothes here. They just need to be hung up, or they needed to be folded up and put away. I've got my laundry basket. It's obviously all dirty clothes. Let's go put a load in the laundry. And I mean, I wash my clothes once a week. I have enough clothing that I can do that, where I can wait a whole week before doing laundry, and then I can do it once a week. So that's really nice. But at the same time, that means that I have a space that needs to go, and I need to not let it be overwhelming. And then I need to make sure that I put my books away so I don't have piles of books everywhere, but they're actually on a bookshelf. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've learned that I need to, rather than focusing on one thing and then immediately noticing something else and moving over, what I need to do is I need to make a list beforehand. I need to say, okay, here are the things that need to happen to get my space organized. It's not even that it's dirty, it's just cluttered because it's not organized. And so I need to make a list. And then once I make a list, I say, okay, I'm going to do this thing for 20 minutes, and I'm going to get it done in 20 minutes. Or, you know, if the more realistic, I'm going to give myself an hour to put all of my clothes away, to do my laundry, to make sure everything is done, clothing related. That's right now I'm going through a period where I'm sorting through all of my clothes. I have a pile of stuff that I don't wear anymore. And so I'm getting ready to either give that to you and to Caroline, or to, you know, donate it somewhere. But it's just a lot of clothing that I don't ever wear anymore. Like, they're super cute, they're just not things I wear. And so that is allowing for me to be able to process that. And now that I know, okay, I'm going to focus on my clothing and nothing else, just clothing, I think that I'll be able to get it done. And I've already been able to get a lot of stuff done using that system. And so I hope that as I get better at that, then I can do this better.
I feel like it's a lot easier when you have a list, because I know for me, every Sunday I put together a big list, and I have all the things I have to do during the week, my work, the exercise, I mean, all of my subjects in school, and I have them. I say, okay, on this day I have this, and this is how long it's going to take. You said that time. I mean, I learned I had this school, and we learned how to really, like, put down, like, meet on things that you can reach for and that are not so high up that you're never going to get it. You want to make them so you can, I can't think of the word, but you can grasp them without it being, oh my heck, this is too overwhelming. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. So you want to make goals that are reachable.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've found that often for me, writing things down is so important. I'm going to throw in a shameless plug right here because I absolutely adore this woman. I want to meet her so bad. Like, she is definitely someone I look up to so much. Her name is Lily Singh, otherwise known as Superwoman on YouTube, and I love her. She's phenomenal. And she recently put out a video called 5 Ways to Really Get Work Done. And it was like, it wasn't just 5, oh, dude, like, have nice flowers and make sure you have a cup of water while you're working. No, she was being very serious. She was saying, okay, here's what you do. And she gave 5 really, really good ways to get work done. And one of them was to have more than one to-do list. Have like kind of a dream board type thing of things that you want to like accomplish in your lifetime kind of thing. And then also have, a weekly list and then a daily list. So, for example, one of the things that she wrote on her to list for her weekly list, she wrote, read chapters 1 through 5. For day 1, read chapter 1. Day 2, read chapter 2. So that way it's not overwhelming. You're not thinking on Monday, oh my gosh, I've got to read chapters 1 through 5, and then you put it off, and then you get to Friday, Saturday, and you have to read it because it's due. Rather than that, you break it down and you do just a little bit every day. Yeah. And I think that was so helpful. And she said another thing that was really important, and I thought this was so cool. She said, don't just have to-do lists, but also create a done list. So that when you are done with something, rather than just crossing it off, actually move it to a done list. So when you're done, at the end of the day, you can look at it and you can say, holy cow, I did so much. Even if you only have one thing written on the done list, if it was something that took a lot of time, you're like, man, I knew that was going to take me a long time. I finished it in one day. How cool is that? And so she has this little done list. She says she uses a whiteboard for this. And every single day, she writes those down. She looks at them at the end of the day before she goes to bed. And she's like, man, I accomplished so much. High 5. And she's really excited. And then she erases it all and she gets ready for the next day. She rewrites her to-do list for the next day. And then she sets the done list up so that she can write what she's done at the end of the day or throughout the day. And I thought that was really cool. I love that concept. So I want to really say thank you to Lily, aka Superwoman, because she really did encourage me. It was very, very exciting for me to learn that. Yeah. So one thing that I decided to do, I love writing things down. So I decided to bring a couple things for those in the video. And then for those in the audio, I'll just explain them. I have 2 notebooks that I write everything in. This blue one right here, it's a spiral bound notebook. It's kind of worn and torn, and you can definitely tell I've been writing in it. And it's a subject notebook that has lined paper on one side and then a grid on the other. And so you can write down your things, and if you need to draw anything, you can write them in the grid side. Or if you want to do like a number checklist type thing, you can do that on the grid side. But what I use this one for, it's specifically for anything YouTube related. So I put all of my ideas for videos in here. I put all of my podcast information here. I put who every single one of my guests have been and what our topic has been so that I can keep track of that. I write down whether or not I promised to do like a follow-up podcast with someone because I really liked the conversation we were having and I want to have a second podcast on the same conversation with the same person because I loved it. I've also written down like what podcast topics I love and I want to talk about again, maybe with someone new. So that's something that I'm really excited about. I love it so much. And this one really has helped me organize my life in regards to YouTube and what I want to do with YouTube. And so that's something that it's really helped me focus. I also have just a little thing on my phone that also helps me with that. So that I have a reminder every day on my phone. Nice. This yellow one, I actually just purchased it because I was doing this on my phone, but I found that my phone distracts me a lot. When I'm on my phone, I get really distracted because I love Snapchat. I love Snapchat. And I, occasionally get on Facebook, and sometimes I'll respond to the 50 text messages that I've let be very overdue on my phone. I'm getting better at it. It's really only like 8 at the end of the day, and I respond to them by the end of the day. So that is much better than before. But I decided that I wanted to write it in a notebook. So I write in this notebook every day and I write down the things that I want to do. For example, I say, I kind of list all out. I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and so I believe that it's important to start every single day with prayer. to kind of just get yourself spiritually minded. Whether you believe in God or not, if you believe in a higher power, or if you even believe in Mother Earth, it is important to take just a few minutes to meditate, to get yourself grounded, and to really decide to be calm and collected and happy at the beginning of the day. I feel that's so, so important. So that's something that I write down. I put in, I'm going to have a good 10, 15 minutes of just meditation, prayer, and just self-reflection. Then I do 50 jumping jacks and 10 squats because I want to get into being more physically fit. I believe that it is important to fit in exercise where exercise can be fit in, because I don't have a lot of time to I can't go to the gym every day. I really just don't have time for that. And so that's one of the things that I do every single day. I do 50 jumping jacks and 10 squats. And as I get better at that, I will add more to that. I'll do 100 jumping jacks and I'll do 50 squats, and I'll do a minute of wall sits. But I will just do a couple things every morning to make sure I get done. I put in a little bit more self-reflection, whether that's reading a book or writing in my journal or doing something that helps me just kind of, again, draw into myself and be able to realize who I am, what's important to me, and help me get ready for the day. I've actually had to plan in time to eat breakfast because I forget to eat breakfast. I'm always running late. So I have to plan in time to eat breakfast every day. I plan in to work. Oftentimes I'll film during my lunch break at work. And then if I film on Monday, then I edit on Tuesday. And then I film and edit on Wednesday because I have more time. And so, that's kind of what I go through, and I do that. I put in all just the different things, and then I make sure that I write down at the end, sleep, because I don't sleep very well. And so I wrote sleep no later than midnight. Occasionally I will get to bed a little later than midnight just due to the fact that I'm doing different things that day. But in order for me to get a good solid at least 5 hours of sleep, which is, I really need at least 5 hours, then I need to be to bed by midnight so that I can kind of get relaxed to a point where my body will finally let me fall asleep. So there's that. Belle, have you noticed, what are some of the things that you've done to kind of help you focus? I mean, those are some things that I've done. What are some things you do?
Well, I think having someone that can be accountable, that will hold you accountable to you, has helped a lot. I wake up really early. Like I mentioned, I wake up like 4 every morning. And it helps me. Like, people say I'm crazy, but it helps me. Like, I wake up and I do just some opening things, get into that mood where I'm just ready and I'm ready for the day. I read, because I feel like for me, it might not be for all you guys, but for me, the first thing I do in the morning, it's easiest for me to read when I've just woken up and I'm not as tired and I'm pumped and I'm ready to go. Then at the end of the day, when I'm just so done and I just want to do all the day and take a nap and everything. So I do that. I read my scriptures and, just prayer. Like, invite just have him in your life. And I feel like having someone accountable and being able to have those rituals and have those easy but daily set goals that you have in your day will really help. And times. I know I do have that a lot. It's like when I write on Saturday with my mentor sheet, I write in times. I'm like, okay, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing that. And that's helped a lot.
Another thing that I've noticed, I get really distracted with electronics. I was actually reading this book recently. It's a book that I just purchased at Barnes & Noble, and I love it. I saw it on the shelf when I was actually in there to shop for something else. And I thought, you know what? I'm working on getting better at organizing and making my life a cleaner, more healthy place. So I think that this is important. And the book is called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. I was like, really? That's cool. So I started to flip through, and it talks about putting your clothes away, folding it right, and solving your storage problems. And then it talks just about talks a little bit about feng shui, a little, although that's not Japanese, that's actually a Chinese thing, I believe. But it just talks a lot about ways in which to organize your life. And one of the things that it suggests is get rid of electronics. Have a little bit of time every day where you get away from all electronics. And I realized I've constantly got my phone on me, or I'm near a computer. When I'm at work, I know my phone's kind of put away, but I've still got a computer right in front of me. And so I need to find that time. And I realized on Sundays, I want to take a couple hours out on Sunday because that's a day I don't work. It's a day that I don't really spend too much time with other people. I'm normally just home, either by myself or with the family. And just to be able to sit there and just be away from my electronics. I put my computer away, I put my iPad away, and I put my phone away, and I'll read a book. I'll write in my journal. If I want to read something that I could find all my scriptures or on my phone, like if I want to read some gospel literature or something, if I want to read some scriptures, then I won't read them on my phone. I'll read them in the good book. And I found I focus better. I have a little bit more ability to just pay attention to what I'm doing. And that's another thing that Lily suggested in her video was when you are on the computer doing something, don't just minimize the other tabs. Don't just like put your phone, turn your phone upside down. Turn your phone on silent, put it in a drawer, close every single one of the tabs on your computer except for the one that you're using, because then you don't have those distractions. Then you don't have the little thing blinking at you saying, you got a Facebook message. Yeah. You don't hear your phone go ding or, whatever it is. You actually are putting away all the distractions so you really can focus on one thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Okay, so another favorite book just came in mind. The Screw Tape Letters. I don't know if you guys have read it, but it's a super good book. And one of the chapters talk about distractions. And I mean, you'll sit down and you'll want to read this good book, and then you'll have this thought, oh, I'm really hungry. And you just eaten. And you get up and you go away. It's just that small little thing, but then you never come back. Like, you think about it, when was the last time you guys came back to finish what you guys did? Rarely. But I think it's true. You need to put away your technology. You need to put it away so you can focus on what you need to do. I need to work on it myself. But I did it for a little bit, and what I did is I just shut off my phone and then just put everything away. And I was in my room by myself. And also you want to sit in a position that if you're like going back, you're not going to fall asleep in. My brother's really good at that.
Yes, he is.
That's what I'm thinking. But put away the distractions. When you're putting your mind on something, stay to it. Know you're going to finish it. Do it.
Yeah. Okay, Belle, one of the reasons why I wanted you to be on this particular podcast is because you did something that I thought was so admirable, and I really, really wanted to hear a little bit of what your thoughts were. When you were doing that cleanse that you were doing a little while ago, the Ketopia cleanse, you were kind of eating healthier, you were doing some exercising things. That was 10 days of very strict diet. That you were doing, and you took the time every single day. You took the time, to make sure you had meals planned out and you had everything figured out, and you were working hard and you were exercising. And I would come home from work and I would see you working on that, and it was something you cared about, and so it was something you were focused on. What helped you stay focused during that diet, and what were some motivations to help you stay on track?
Well, okay, so something that helped me is I've always wanted to do it. When my dad first got into business, he told me that you can lose 10 pounds in a week. I was like, I'm in. I want to do this.
Just so everyone knows, there's a particular cleanse that a company near us started. I don't know exactly how it all works, but it essentially puts your body in a state of burning fat as an energy source, therefore allowing you to lose weight just because your body is burning the fat that is stored in your body as your energy, rather than burning, fast sugars and then losing energy really fast. So that's what this particular diet was. It was 10 days of putting yourself in this it's called ketosis, and it's supposed to just help your body burn fat for energy, and it's putting your body in that state fairly quickly and then helping you stay in that state for a long period of time. But that's because you're not eating any trigger foods that will stop that. If you eat any processed sugar, that immediately gets you out of ketosis, and it puts your body back into burning those sugars and processing the sugars really quickly to get fast energy.
Mhm.
And so that's what she's talking about. And my dad happened to mention it to her, and so that's why she started.
So I just remember, like, when I first got it, I got it for my birthday. That's when I got it. And I got the box and I was super excited. And I think that's something that kind of made me really want to do it and be really like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it. Is my sister turns over to me and I heard her talking and she said, I don't think she's going to be able to do it. I don't think she's going to. And she's like, not really that many people will work hard for something if it's paid for, not by themselves. And I was like, are you kidding me? I can do hard things. And so, I think it was like 2 weeks later, I got the info from my dad. All you could eat was greens. You couldn't eat anything, reds, oranges, or yellows, anything, no sweets at all. And so I got on it, and I wanted to prove her wrong. I wanted to prove her that I could do it. And I feel like that's the biggest motivation is when someone says you can't, and you're like, you want to see? I'll prove you wrong. I'm really good at that.
So that was one of the reasons. That was one of the main things to help you stay focused.
Oh yeah.
You remembered what she had said.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna let her have her way. And then at the end of the week or 10 days, it was funny because she came to my mom and she's like, okay, I guess you're wrong. She did it. And I'm like, heck yeah, I did. And I lost more than I wanted to. Well, I lost more than what was planned, but I was really happy with it. I was super excited. Something that helped me is, the motivation of someone telling me I can't. And then I feel like my own self goals. And then also the people who are telling me I can. I'm like, yeah, I have good sisters.
Okay, Belle, here's another question. When you are studying for school, what are some things that you do to help you stay focused?
I shut down all distractions. Like, I'll put my phone away, which is super helpful. Sometimes it's hard.
Yep. Okay. So, what are some things that you get very distracted on?
Okay.
When you are studying?
So lately, I've been trying to interact and try to figure things out with school and with dance and all these things. And I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this dance with this one person, and I'll say to myself, okay, I need to check what he said. So I'll get on Facebook for 5 minutes. That's it. It's just 5 minutes. And I go on Facebook and, oh, that's cool. And keep going up and that's cool. That's even cooler. Okay, let's see what he looks like. Oh man, okay, go back. Oh man, I look at the clock and an hour's gone by. I'm like, crap. And then that's not even the end of it. And then I see YouTube videos and I'm like, oh man, inspiration. I need inspirational thoughts. So I go onto there and I'm like, this will motivate me. And then an hour goes by again and I'm like, okay, we're done. Close down.
One of my favorite things, I'm going to tell you right now, one of my favorite things when I come in to the schoolroom and you are on the computer and you've got Facebook open and YouTube open and you've got your school stuff open too, but here's the stuff that you're on school. You're like in the little chat room talking to the people from class. You're not actually doing homework. You're just talking to the people in class. And I'm like, what are you doing, Belle? Like, why are you, just get your schoolwork done and then talk to these people on the phone. Like, what's going on? And like this, I haven't seen it much recently. She's definitely gotten a lot better, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you. But one thing that I thought was hilarious, you would Google something so that you could get the little like YouTube clip thingies up so that you could drag it to your desktop for later. And so she has like tons of little like hyperlinks saved to the desktop so she can open them when she's done. But I'm telling you, those hyperlinks are just as distracting. You're like, all I have to do is click it. And then I can watch this video. And I
do that.
Oh my gosh.
I'll watch this one later. And then I put it down. And I never do. Or I'll go and I'll share something just with me. I don't share like tons of things. But I'll share it and I'll be like, you know how like the option, it's like just me, only me.
I used to share it to my wall, and now all I do is I send them in a private message to myself.
Wow.
No, really though, like I have a Facebook message thing that's just messages to myself.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, if I scrolled through, I'd have so many yummy recipes.
Yeah, that's what I
A lot of really random notes that I don't know why I shared. A ton of stuff that I'm like, oh, I really want to share this with this one person, and I never ever share it with someone because I send it to that message thing, but then I don't actually ever check my own messages to myself.
Yeah, same. Or like when I save it to my wall, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it later, and then I go to my wall and I'm like 30 different things. I'm like, yeah, never mind. And I'm too lazy to go and delete them. And so then I'm scrolling down because I'm like, what was the last thing I actually posted that people can see? Nope, I can't find it. So.
That's really funny. Yeah, Facebook. I've noticed Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Oh, heavens. They're all super distracting to me. I can get on and I can spend hours on them. And it's something that I have started because Facebook, I feel like Facebook has a place and it's important. And you know, it's nice to be able to have Facebook, and it's good to have Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and all those things and YouTube. But I've had to schedule time to get onto them. So I know I look at Snapchat just the same time that I look at like my text messages a couple times throughout the day. I try, if I'm carrying on a conversation with someone, I try to continue that conversation, but otherwise I don't necessarily respond to them just because I know that if I start a conversation in the middle of the day, I will think about the conversation for the rest of the day and it distracts me from what I'm doing. And so if I'm with other people or if I'm at work, I try really hard not to respond to messages. I'll maybe do it during my lunch break. I have an hour for lunch, and during my lunch break, that's when I'm responding to text messages. It's when I'm getting back to people on Facebook. It's when I'm looking at my Snapchats. So I know I have very select times that I can. I watch people's stories at the end of every night. I set aside probably half an hour before going to bed just to watch Snapchat stories because I think those are super entertaining. I like to see what people are doing. I like to see what people are up to. There's one guy I follow on Snapchat who I love. His name is Bobby Parrish, and he puts a new recipe on Snapchat every day, so I learn a new meal every day.
Yes.
And he encourages just different healthy tips, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do everything this person is doing. But I've had to really schedule that in. Like I watch YouTube very specific times so that I don't waste my whole day doing this. You know, occasionally I'll turn on a YouTube video while I'm cleaning because I don't necessarily need to watch it. I just want to listen to it. I just want to hear what's being said. And so, you know, or I'll turn on Netflix and I'll just turn on a show that I don't particularly care to watch all the way through, but I am listening to because it's nice to listen to something, or I'll listen to a podcast while I'm cleaning. But like, I have to schedule that time in, otherwise it's majorly distracting and it takes way too much of my time.
Well, and I think it's funny because I clean a lot on Saturdays. Like my mom has me cleaning 3 bathrooms, and I think it's way funny. And she can tell when I'm watching something that I'm working and when I'm not. And I won't even tell her. Like I'll just like watching something, and then she'll come up to me. She's like, "Belle, you were watching something." I said, "No." She's like, "This mirror is not good. That toilet is not good. The wall, you forgot to wipe." And then when I'm not watching something, I'm more focused. I can like, oh, I forgot that. Oh, I got that spot. I'm not so quickly. I'm done. Bye.
I feel like when you're focusing on something, you get things done faster.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I'm thinking about the fact that I need to put certain things away, I definitely get it done faster. So I feel like when you choose to focus on one thing and get it done, then you actually have more time to do the things that you want to do. If you want to get distracted, set aside time to be distracted. You know, I wake up a couple minutes earlier some mornings just so I can scroll through Facebook for a couple minutes before I get up.
Yeah.
Or I wake up a couple minutes early so I can look at my emails and make sure that there's nothing important in there. Just so that I have a little extra time when I wake up. So I think that those are just some little things to help get rid of distractions and help focus a little bit more.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we talked about it. My school year, this year has been really better. I have to point that out. I've been very good. I'm a good student. Straight A's. But I mean, the last couple of years, I mean, all the distractions. I mean, you just need to put them away. Like seeing how big of a difference it feels. Like, it feels a different way. It's not just like, oh, I didn't get distracted, I was able to do this. You feel a different way. You don't feel so, oh my gosh, I have to do this and this and this and this, and I only had 24 hours to do it. And so, I mean, you feel more organized. You feel like you can do it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so we're going to kind of end the podcast, and we're going to kind of be done with this particular thing. But if you were to give one piece of advice to myself, to your past self, or to anyone who's maybe struggling with focusing on things, maybe including yourself, well, you're still working on it, but you're trying to improve, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's kind of who's having a hard time focusing?
I think never giving up. It's never too late. That's been a big thing for me. Is I know tons of my other friends who they feel like, I mean, it's senior year or it's the last year. You don't have to worry about it. Just let down everything. But no, don't give up. If you haven't taken that much time, it's never too late to go in for it. Go in for the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to echo that. And I think the other piece of advice I would give, I love the idea of having a done list. I think it's so important to set specific goals, because if you set specific times that things are going to get done. I know that I take my lunch break sometime between 1 and 2 every single day. So I know that sometime during that period, I'm going to have an hour break where I can do something. And rather than just sit down and waste that hour, which is so easy to do, I am going to use it productively. And then not only am I going to use it productively, but then I can write it on my done list. I think that's so awesome. I've started implementing that in my life. My yellow notebook is actually going to have a done list on one side. So I have my to-do list, and then I will have my done list. So I know, okay, I did do that today. Oh my goodness, I did do that. And it helps me see I'm being accountable to myself. I have to look at my sheet every day.
It's a good reminder.
It really is, exactly. And I think that it's so important at the end of your day to really just take a few minutes and reflect back on what you did. And give yourself a pat on the back and say, good job. You did well today. And then set your goals for the next day so that you don't have to worry at all. You already are focused and set. It helps you sleep better that night. And it helps you wake up ready to immediately start going, rather than floundering and going, what am I doing today?
Well, when you go to sleep happy, you wake up
happy. I agree 100%. Okay, so Belle, there is one more thing that I do at the end of my podcast. This ends the podcast. This is my favorite question of the night. We are done with the topic. So now it is time for the most important part. It's not really the most important part, but it's something that I think is hilarious, and I love this part. So Belle, what is your weekly obsession? While she's thinking about it for just one quick second, everybody who's watching, please comment in the comment section right now. Tell me what your weekly obsession is. And after this video ends, go and comment in the comments. I want to see what your weekly obsession is, because your weekly obsession might become my weekly obsession next week, because you know what? When certain things are suggested, they just pop into my head and they become things that I love. For example, it's not my weekly obsession, but it's something I loved. Someone suggested the song Unstoppable by Sia, and I've been listening to it nonstop. I would almost say it is a weekly obsession, but there have been a couple things I focused a little more on. But definitely thanks for the suggestion. Nick, that was your suggestion, so I appreciate that. Please comment in the comment section, because I want to know. Weekly obsession. So what's yours?
Okay, so I don't really, give me an example.
You just did.
What is it? Another one.
What is something that in the past week you have been obsessed with?
Oh, Uptown Funk. No, Ice Baby. I don't know what that song is called. But I listen to it every day I'm getting ready in the morning. Stupid song. I like it. I've been obsessed with Glee lately.
Okay. I had two things that I was thinking about. I wasn't quite sure which one I was going to mention, because I feel like you can only really have one weekly obsession. You have to choose one thing. So the thing that I decided to mention was my outfit this week. Okay, I've been like obsessed with this particular outfit. For those of you on the video, I'm gonna show you my awesome pants. They're awesome. They've got these little bell bottom, little loose thingy here. They're really tight. They've got a fun little paisley pattern. Not quite paisley, but kind of. And I think that they're super, super pretty. I love these pants. They are the most comfortable thing in the world. And then this top, I absolutely love. It's a loose, flowy top. It's shorter in the front, and it hangs down a little bit in the back. So it's really, really comfortable. I think it goes well with the tie. I think it goes well with the pants. So this is my weekly obsession. This outfit, I've probably worn it every single night this week because I just love it. I come home, I change out of my work clothes, and I immediately get into this. It's been my go-to outfit many, many times. I love it. I've been going back to it. And so this outfit is my weekly obsession. So please, again, comment in the comment section. Let me know, 1, what your weekly obsession is. 2, what we should talk about next week. And 3, let me know what you are suggesting as far as books to read, because I am always looking for something new. I have an idea for where I want this podcast to go after episode 20. So about halfway through the year, I will have a different road that the podcast will take if I get the suggestion enough times, or if I get enough people telling me that it's a good idea. So please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Join in the conversation, please. Don't forget, join us again next week, Monday night at 9 p.m. We do this every single week. And don't forget, like the video and subscribe. And we'll see you again next week. See ya. Don't forget, smile. Remember, stay beautiful. Know that I love ya. Mwah.